do Jose Mourinho and a new big stadium and a coaching academy and a park have in common? They all tie back to the birthplace of Jose Mourinho in the charming small town of Setubal, Portugal. This is a project that Mourinho and the city could just decide to build if they want. Hi, my name is Peter. I am a finance specialist from Denmark that love economics. If you like this video, please subscribe and get updated when we uncover things that the mainstream media do not cover or don't understand, or if we like in this case, share new project ideas. I hope it is okay. I used an AI voice since I have been sick recently, but this should not hold us back. Ever heard of Setubal? Neither had I. However, last year I was on a project in Portugal and needed a place to stay outside of Lisbon with a coastal feeling. By random chance, I ended up selecting Setubal. All I knew about the town was that it was close to the water and had a direct train to Lisbon. Great for me since I like working from a train and hate wasting time in traffic. It turns out that Setubal is a very charming city with seafront area, a castle and COE, and population of 100,000 people, and approximately 800,000 in the Setubal regional area. However, like any other cities, it of course also have its challenges. We will get back to this. So what does this have to do with Jose Mourinho? Well, it turns out that Jose Mourinho was born in the Setubal and have a strong tie with the town. They even gave him his own street name. Pretty cool if you are a Mourinho fan like myself. The city's football team is Victoria FC, a no offense, lower tier team that Mourinho used to a youth coach for back in the 1990s. Given the stadium's central location, it is clear to notice the Estadio do Bonfim and its 15,000 seat capacity stadium when you enter the city. However, you also quickly notice that it is in very old condition and is in need of serious investment. This is where the special one, Jose Mourinho, enters the picture. Given my background with professional real estate development on master plan and project level of projects covering small to projects to a few million, to big projects worth hundreds of millions of euro, I believe there is a very high chance to make a very successful Mourinho 20,000 to 30,000 seater stadium and coaching academy park in Setubal. There is many ways one could design and make a new stadium, but it is no secret that I have a big passion for building in wood as much as possible, given that it is much more sustainable than concrete. My estimate is that this would cost 50 to 100 million euros depending how one wants to make it. I estimate this will generate 5 to 15 million a year in revenue, 10 million in match day revenue, 2 million in sponsorship revenue, 2 million ad hoc. This new stadium would not only be great for the team, but it would also give the city a new look that it needs. It is no secret when you walk around Setubal, many large buildings needs a serious upgrade. Many even stand empty. While there is an obvious revenue sources from higher tickets, sales, merchandise, F&B, etc. from the new stadium, football revenue will always be very volatile since teams can be promoted or relegated. This is why I came up with a new idea that would also add value to the city all year, instead of only on match day. Given that Mourinho is one of the most winning coaches of all time, I believe there is an even bigger opportunity in making a coaching academy and park in Setubal for coaches and residents to enjoy all year. Another good component of a park and academy is that city residents can use it all year versus a stadium that is only used for 1 to 2 hours on a weekend. My estimate is that this would cost 50 to 150 million euros depending how one wants to make it. I estimate this will generate 5 to 15 million a year in revenue, 3 to 5 million in coaching fees, revenue 1 million in gate revenue, 5 million in hotel revenue. What I especially like about this, that it is steady recurring revenue from aspiring coaches globally coming to Portugal to study. Steady revenues means steady jobs for the city, which means steady tax income. I believe these ideas could create hundreds of jobs in the city and lift life quality in the city tremendously. It would property take 2 to 3 years to build depending on pace of city permits and contractor speed and quality. This would be a flagship investment that would bring more investment into the other real estate aspects that the city needs to renovate. Mark my words, such a large project will make real estate prices increase by 10 to 35% in the city, which on one side is good, but on the other side, not good for all. This is why I am advocating for more affordable housing in Portugal. In addition, nearby areas as Troia and Comporta is already seeing quite an investment influx, so wealthy individuals are already invested in the area and could support such a project with financing if needed. So how to finance this? In my view, this should be very easy. First and foremost, Mourinho have made a significant fortune in his career, and some say he is worth ballpark 100 million euros. So technically, he could fund most of it himself. However, being realistic, he would most likely to diversify and would like to invite in partners. These could either be other wealthy footballers, Ronaldo soon to become coach age ready, hint hint. But in general, there is plenty of international financiers that would back such a project. A project that on the international stage is not that big, but would be a massive project in Setubal and a great value add for the city. Let me be clear, I am not a YouTuber. I am a finance professional, not looking for work. I am just sharing an idea that was so obvious I had to share it. Of course, if there is so much pull by this idea, I will look into it, and I will admit it would be a super interesting project to work on, but I am plenty busy with other projects at the moment. But I hope you still like that I shared the idea. You might also think, but what if Victoria FC do not want a new stadium? That's the wrong question to ask. What if Mourinho decides to build in another area in the region on Almada? Then Victoria FC will have an even harder time to raise funding to renovation with a new competitor. I am pretty sure the two parties could form a partnership. What is interesting with this idea is that if Mourinho and the city decided to make this happen, it would happen. There should be nothing stopping such an interesting project that randomly just came my way. Please share in the comments what you think, and if you have additional information you find important to share. Then we will make a second version video with updates.